From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a continuation of Mornings LLA. In this video, we'll continue our coverage of the fourth stimulus check, that monthly reoccurring stimulus check. The third stimulus check, which for veterans is arriving this Wednesday, but the breaking exclusive details you're only going to hear on this channel, which is the $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness, which I'm expecting will be announced by the President of the United States this Thursday by executive order. You're hearing this only on this channel exclusively. And the surprising developing detail of $10,000 EIDL grants being paid this week. You're only going to hear this on this channel. This is a continuation of a big morning of Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a continuation of Mornings LALATE. How are you? It's a big recording. On the video right before this on Mornings LALATE, I went over that fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check that would be paid to all viewers of this channel. Coverage of that subject continues on noontime. I also went over the surprising developing detail that I first told you last week, and I was right again, that this Wednesday, April 14th, veterans who have not gotten stimulus checks, third stimulus checks, will be seeing them land in their direct deposit accounts this Wednesday. That's veterans. Away we go. Congratulations to my veterans who have not gotten stimulus checks. I've had thousands who have, but these are the ones who have not. Your stimulus checks went out last Friday, and they're landing this Wednesday. But boy, in this video, I have even more surprises and more exclusives. First, that a $10,000 grant will be landing in your bank account this coming week for some of you, my old-time viewers. And second, $50,000 of student loan debt is about to be announced as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because you see why I have so much recordings across the board and so much breaking and exclusive details you're only hearing on this channel. I don't want you to miss any of this recordings across the board. It's important for you to be informed, educated, and ahead of the ball, because there's a lot of money at stake. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 3,000 likes. I'll also be jumping in the live chat where I see Tina and Jenny and Sheila right now. I'll be jumping in the live chat in a second. And consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The big surprise, the big shocker will be this week. I'm reporting exclusively that I believe that this Thursday, the President of the United States will announce to millions of Americans $50,000 of student loan debt is forgiven. Wow. How did this get to this point? Well, if you were with me back in October of last year, it started when then Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said that on day one, I want the President-elect Joseph Biden to sign an executive order to forgive student loan debt. The press looked for the President-elect to comment. He wouldn't comment. Then on Tuesday that week, the Minority Leader Schumer said it again. Finally, the press found the president later that Friday and asked him, will you forgive student loan debt on day one of your administration? The president said, no, but I might do a $10,000 bill if it's given to me. Then in January, Elizabeth Warren and then leader Schumer met with the president, asked him to forgive it. He said no. They introduced a bill to the Senate for $50,000 of student loan debt. They met with him again. He said no. And finally, everything changed. I'll jump to the finality, which is this Friday. On this Friday is due a big document. And what is that document? It's a document from the president's education secretary. He told that education secretary 2 weeks ago that by this Friday, he wants a letter written to him to determine the legal validity of a president to forgive student loan debt. Can a president forgive student loan debt by executive order? I want that letter to me within 2 Fridays from now. That deadline is this Friday. I'm reporting that the president can forgive student loan debt by executive order because Obama and Trump did, and the president's about to announce that as well. And that announcement could come this Thursday. So how did we get to this point, and what could that student loan debt mean? And what about that $10,000 of EIDL? Boy, there's a lot coming up in this recording, but first let's go over the remainder of this surprising detail about the student loan debt. It started with Elizabeth Warren, who produced a series of videos earlier in January. And in this video, which you'll watch with me again, she says the president has legal authority to forgive the debt because Obama and Trump did it, and that the education secretary needs to tell the president to do that. Let's listen in to the legal authority to forgive the student loan debt by executive order.
Student loan debt means there are lots of people who aren't moving out from their parents' homes, lots of people who aren't buying their own homes, and one of the other things the data shows, lots of people who are not starting their own businesses. And all of those things hold back our economy. And I make that point because I'm sure there are lots of folks who are on this call tonight who don't have student loan debt. But here's the deal. Even if you don't have student loan debt, you will be helped by seeing student loan debt canceled because it will help our economy. This is one of those things that doesn't have to go through Congress. The authority is already there in law for the president and his team, the administration, the Secretary of Education, to cancel out this student loan debt.
And here is her explanation about Biden's authority to do it.
And President Obama used it to cancel some student loan debt. President Trump used it to cancel some student loan debt. I want to see President Biden use it. If he would cancel $50,000 in student loan debt, it would make an enormous difference in the lives of tens of millions of Americans and help build our entire nation a stronger future going forward.
And that was her message a few weeks ago. Then, under third stimulus, Warren and Schumer and other Democrats got an incredible provision into law. Under the third stimulus package, they got a provision in that if student loan debt is forgiven by executive order, you do not have to pay taxes on the forgiven debt. Normally, forgiven debt is a taxable event. You would have to normally pay $10,000 to $20,000 in taxes. Not anymore because of what Schumer and Warren did. They released this video just a few days before the president agreed to have his education secretary prepare that deal memo. Let's listen.
One more piece in place, and now we're just ready for President Biden to sign the piece of paper to say cancel $50,000 worth of student loan debt. And when he does that, he will close the racial wealth gap between blacks and whites who have student loan debt by 25 points, between Latinos and others by 25 points. There's not a single thing he could do on his own in one fell swoop to make that kind of difference. It would be historic.
It will. And the three of us have been trying to persuade the president to do this because he can do it, as was said, with a signing of a pen. We don't need.
The sign of a pen is referring to an executive order by the president, which is what is likely to come this week. I'm exclusively reporting.
Legislation, boom, and your debt is forgiven and you breathe easy. But one of the arguments some of the people around him are saying is, how could we do this? They still have to pay taxes on it. No more. Can't make that argument. So that's a help within as we try to push the White House to go further, to do what we think they should do. This helps us.
Yeah, and not only do they not have to pay taxes, but if we get the relief we're looking for, a young person can now say, you know what, I get to buy my first home, or get to start a family, or maybe I get to open that business that I've been holding off on. It's just a tremendous opportunity. And for minorities, look, as someone who is
Here's what's important for you to know. The message delivered in this video is the same that was repeated by viewers yesterday in the live chat. yesterday, and the viewers in the live chat said much the same, that the forgiveness of student loan debt would enable them to buy a home. The forgiveness of student loan debt would allow them to start a business. The forgiveness of student loan debt would allow them to buy a car. That student loan debt has been a cause for them not to be able to buy a home, start a business, and other items. And that message is very correct, said by those senators. In the live chat, a lot of people have been saying, asking great questions. Keep them coming. One of the questions I just saw from Kathy Downs was, what is the proposed income level to qualify for student loan debt? That's an easy one. Everyone. So far, we have not seen the bill. We've not seen the executive order. We've not seen the finality. And ultimately, these are politicians. They can change it. We've not seen confirmation that it will include both privately held student loan debt and federally backed student loan debt. We're waiting to see that. But what they have said in their videos, these leaders, these politicians, is that all student loan debt of any age, of any magnitude, whether in collections or not in collections, whether current or past, whether you're currently a student with debt or a former student still with debt, whether you're a rich person or a poor person, any person of any income level, of any walk of life, could have $50,000 or less of student loan debt forgiven automatically, not requiring applications, not requiring any review process, just automatically, and away we go. Great set of questions. Now, what's important to understand is that these members of the Senate team, Warren and Sanders and Schumer, have not let up. Since the president has announced that he has told his education secretary to prepare a deal memo, those senators have continued to make videos as early as this weekend. And on Friday, Leader Schumer released a new video with Warren again, now in a series of Zoom chats with students, talking about the need to forgive student loan debt. Their push is not letting up down to the very last second. Let's listen to this new video from Schumer and Warren released this weekend.
On this one, give us an idea. Geneva, do you have,
Yeah.
tell us about how your life would be different.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I mean, as a parent, it just means a whole lot less of weight on me, especially, as a parent, you just have so much responsibility and you want to make the legacy or basically what's coming
Forward both as a child and as she gets ready for school. I think that, Kendrick, you talked about your daughter losing her car because you were struggling with your own student loan debt after you'd gotten cheated by a for-profit college. But I think the generational effects of this, it means it hits you, but it hits the next group and the next group and the next group. And I think that's a powerful point. And I appreciate your raising this, Geneva. I think that's really important.
That was Warren there losing her feed, not me. And so there you see the exciting detail. That's part one of this video, because this video has a lot of parts to it. First, that student loan debt is likely to be forgiven this Thursday. I'm exclusive reporting on this channel, and that announcement is going to likely come on the heels of that education secretary's letter due this Friday. The second part of this video coming up after the commercial break is the $10,000 of EIDL about to hit, the new shuttered venue grant, which could apply for you, now open. Also, the PPP grant open, and how you can get $10,000 under that EIDL grant from last year. Meantime, I'll be answering your questions about third stimulus landing this Wednesday for veterans, and also fourth stimulus, those monthly stimulus checks as covered earlier on Mornings LA. I'll be back after the commercial break, plus with new video from the White House about fourth stimulus. Stay with me for more. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Mornings LALATE kicks up its second half. Thank you for joining me on a big morning. I'm so excited for you. Keep those questions coming. I'll be answering and interacting with you in the live chat. I see all your great questions. Lynn Glenn said the student loan debt forgiveness would really help me. It would help countless viewers. Over the weekend, viewers have said that it would help them buy homes, help them start businesses. It has been a big issue, and they're very excited for that as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video, and if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The big other exclusives I have to report to you are the following. The EIDL grant of $10,000 from 2020 is landing this week. Yes, can you imagine? I just can't believe it. If you did not get that EIDL grant last year, it's being paid this week. Okay, now here's a lot to cover, and I'm going to make it very simple and easy breezy. First, what I'm referring to is people who got any EIDL grant of $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or no EIDL grant who applied in 2020 at any time. Okay, that's the group that I'm referring to. Second, I'm referring next to the invite. There's a series of invites that are going out from SBA since early February that are saying, hi, you want the remainder of your $10,000 grant or the $10,000 or the grant that you never got a penny for. And it's called the EIDL Advance email. It's coming from SBA, and the email asks you to certify and confirm that you service a community that is a low-income based community and that you had a downturn of your business during the economy. Now, that is the current status of the email invites. Here's what I can exclusively tell you right now. I've watched some other videos on the EIDL online, and they're based upon, how do I say it? They're based upon their sources and their information. I can report that the information is not exactly as they think it is. Here's what I can report. First, the EIDL grant was opened in late March and then continued till I believe it was about May, then reopened in July and then closed again in July. You would presume that people who applied in March and April are getting the invite before the people in July. No, they are not. People from July are getting the email invites before the people in March and April. Okay, then you're going to say, well, it's because they're low income and the other ones weren't low income. No, I can also confirm that's not happening. That two similar situated businesses, both in low-income businesses, one from July can get an invite before one from March or April. How is that possible? It's called SBA. There is no organization whatsoever to the process. So understand that if you applied at any time for that $10,000 EIDL grant in 2020, there is no rhyme or reason or organization as to who's getting the invite first. So if you applied in July, you could perfectly get the invite before someone who gets it who applied in March. Second, the current set of invites are still talking about the low-income based community. But after that, they're going to open the EIDL grant all open for all 2020 applicants of all communities. It's unclear how quickly they're going to get to it. A series of videos I've seen online have talked about that it's already at that point. It's not at that point. I can confirm that's not accurate. They're currently not at the point to open the application for all people yet, that they're still sending out invites for the low-income based communities. Finally, It's very, very obvious, but also very important. The SBA emails, for some reason, generally go to spam folders. So please go into your email account that you provided to SBA when you applied for that grant. It's only going to that email address, and go in there and see if and look for the word SBA. If you find it, put SBA as a permissive filter to ensure that all SBA emails go into the inbox. The email that you'll receive from SBA says something like grant or targeted advance, and you need to act upon it properly and quickly because there's a certain time frame of which to respond. Next, the shuttered venue grant went live, I believe it was on Friday, and immediately crashed. I've been telling you it was in preview mode all last week. Well, it did go live for a few hours and crash. It's important for you to understand that the shuttered venue grant is not just for venues. I know. I don't make up these words. It's not just about shutters and not just about venues. It's like going to a casino and it's about chickens. Well, the shutter venue grant may apply for you, and you need to look at it. Details about the shuttered venue grant are at sba.gov. When is it going to go live? It's likely to go back live on Monday or Tuesday. They're not very clear why it crashed. They said it was a technical problem, but get ready to apply for that. And finally, PPP. The PPP grant program is now extended by executive order from the president. I had one person who I haven't had time to respond to on Instagram, social media, who said, I need help with the PPP. The PPP program, you never need help from this channel for it because the PPP grant program is done by PPP underwriters. They hold your hand through the process. The way it works is you reach out to them. They ask for the documentation they want. Then if you have questions, they answer the questions. They process the application for you. You don't apply directly to SBA. You apply to the lenders and they ask you what they need. If they're not helpful, go to another PPP lender because that's their job. They get you to the finish line. Wow, away we go. Can you imagine? Meantime, if you're wondering what happened to that $5,000 EIDL grant, not happening anytime yet. What they're doing currently, of course, is that $10,000 EIDL grant, the shuttered venue grant, and the PPP grant. Let me jump into the live chat. If you have any questions or comments, drop into the chat right now. Really excited for all of you across the board. I see a lot of donuts in the live chat. Hilarious. Let's see some of the more chats. What's important for you to know if you are a veteran is the following. Veterans stimulus checks for the third wave went out this last Friday. If you have not gotten a stimulus check and you are a veteran, the stimulus checks went out last Friday. They're arriving by direct deposit this coming Wednesday and more in the mail checks later this week. If you go to irs.gov tool and it shows your direct deposit information, congratulations. If it doesn't, don't worry. Watch that direct deposit account this Wednesday. That includes Direct Express by Comerica. If you are a mail check recipient and have not gotten the stimulus check, give it time. Wait a little bit longer. They're delayed. They are very delayed. Meantime, if you don't see a mailed check arrive or a direct deposit check arrive, and we go into about another week, you need to start getting ready to prepare that 2020 tax return. In that 2020 tax return, you're going to request missing first, second, third stimulus checks, individually missing checks, whether it's a member of a household that didn't get a check. You're also going to prepare to request any refund of $10,200 of unemployment. Remember, your first $10,200 of unemployment for federal taxes is tax-free. So if you withdrew for federal taxes before getting unemployment in 2020, you're going to have to account for that on the 2020 tax return. Also, I've had a lot of viewers who are absolutely smart and very informed and very ready to pounce as Purple Hawks. They're ready for forced stimulus, and they've been preparing in their mind how to get ready for forced stimulus for purposes of a tax return. Do this as all one effort in one return. Here's what they're thinking about, and let me share their details with you. First, they want to have a new updated bank account information for purposes of getting the forced stimulus check if it does come by direct deposit. So use that 2020 tax return as the place to give them your direct deposit account if that's what you want to use. Make sure you don't close it because it's very hard to update it after it's closed with purpose of IRS. Number two, if you've had problems in the past with dependents and non-dependents and adult dependents, and you just don't like it, and you want to switch everything to independents, then have those people file their own individual tax returns so they're no longer dependents. Also, if you want to switch anything, like you have a new child or you just gave birth to a child, or IRS doesn't know you have now 2 children because you gave birth during the pandemic to twins, this is the opportunity to start updating that information for purposes of IRS. Let me jump into the live chat and see any other questions you may have to all this detail, because certainly we've been covered a couple things today in the video. Amend, says someone. Absolutely. Joan, LA says, LA, thank you for helping us. I appreciate that. Bonnie says, LA, thank you for helping. I appreciate that, Bonnie. Lynn Glenn says, LA, thank you for being here for all of us. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lynn. Let me see. Danielle says, I'm afraid the economy is too good. Danielle, that's absolutely that is a very good, insightful comment. That was what I covered early on Mornings LA, and I'll cover it later on Noontime LA. We have a mixture of good data and we have a mixture of bad data. At the moment, the data is enough poor to get the bill out the door. The question is when. The good data, currently jobs, PPI, and the CPI coming next week. The bad data, Danielle, it currently is new unemployment claims, continuing unemployment claims, and small business closures. You want that bill in the Senate as soon as possible because the economic data could get too good too quickly. Speed is a big issue to get this big money out the door, and the longer we wait, the bigger issue is at hand. Speed is at issue. As economic rebounding is occurring, jobs are rebounding. The faster they get that bill to the Senate, the faster it is. Debbie, LA, thank you. I appreciate that. There's Ida and there's Garnett. I really appreciate it. If you're just joining me, what if, there's April of a question. If you filed your 2019 and 2020 low income and still no third stimulus, IRS get payment says not available. Okay, so if you have, that's a great question from April. If you have filed your 2020 tax return and have not gotten your stimulus check, what can you do? You can file an amended return and request that missing stimulus check, whether it's first, second, or third. So that is a potential path for you. It's important to understand that you want to do everything together. You want to do everything together. So if you have a couple things that you need to do for purposes of fixing, do it all together. We may have more guidance from Treasury about these fixings, but remember that personal tax return is about a month away now. May is its new deadline. So get ready to have it done, and away we go. Who is sponsoring the bill? I don't know what that question's referring to. We've talked about 3 different items in this video. Let me give you the recap. Who's sponsoring the student loan debt forgiveness? No one. The student loan debt forgiveness announcement you're likely to hear later this week is the executive order. The President of the United States, I'm exclusively reporting, will forgive $50,000 of student loan debt by executive order, and will make that announcement this week. I'm exclusively reporting. You're not hearing this anywhere else. Why this week? Because this Friday is the 2-week deadline he has given his education secretary to make the legal determination about whether he can forgive student loan debt. That legal determination is likely to say he can, as Elizabeth Warren has said. And with that, the president will likely sign an executive order to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. That announcement is likely to come as early as this Wednesday. So that's executive order. Number 2, the EIDL grant. That's not an executive order. It's actually just a agency determination. The $10,000 of EIDL from 2020 is landing in bank accounts this week. You're likely to see the invite come, and if you're just joining me, the update is that they're not coming in order. They're coming to some July 2020 applicants before March 2020 applicants. They're not coming in any particular order, frame, or fashion. It's SBA. And then finally, fourth stimulus. The fourth stimulus is going to start with Biden introducing giving to Speaker Pelosi his infrastructure bill, which will have 3 provisions: infrastructure, climate, and taxes. Pelosi will then do a reconciliation. That'll take a 2-step process. And when it comes back for the second step, that's when the Senate Democrats will modify it to put that multiple stimulus checks in there. Thank you for joining me on Big Mornings LA. I'll see you at noontime. Make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. If you're watching this video tape later in the day, don't fret. Make sure you watch to the very end because, boy, there's a lot covered in these 2 videos on Mornings LA. So make sure you subscribe. It's our 1-year anniversary. It's our month. It's our birthday this month. Hey, Canute, thank you for dancing, for the wonderful dancing pair. It's our birthday month here on this channel. Thank you, Canute, for the dancing pair. So give a subscribe to this channel. Also, like this video. If you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Powered Casino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and I'll see you in a little bit on Noontime LA.